Hello everybody. So today we'll speak about the second part of the final exam in Java class. So my team member is Yu-Wen Hsiao and my name is Cabanac. So first I will recall what is the goal of the second part. So as you can see here, we have just the upper part. We have a database structure that we need to implement on the application. So we will have three tables. So employee that have a SSN, a name, and a lot. There is the second table department that will have a DID, a DName, and a budget. And finally, we have the working table that will take the SSN and the DID of the department and since that will represent for a long time the employee is working in the department. So now I will do the code review first before the demonstration. So here is the application. So we have a first view, main activity, that where we will choose a type of object that we want to insert or delete. So there is employee, department, and the work link. Here is to fill the values. So since there is a 3 value in every object, so usually the first value will be the ID, the second one will be the name, and the third one will be the number. For like the example, the lot number of the budget. So and you can add and delete the object. The second view, and yeah, there is a button to go to the next view. The second one is the to see the data. So there is a employee, department, and links. And when you click on it, it will display what there is actually in the database. So first we'll see the class. So we made 3 classes for each one of the 3 table, since we have 3 different kind of objects. So there is the employee class that will take the parameter of the table. So there is the constructor, where when we create a new employee, we'll just give all the information and store it in the object. We have the getter, so a basic object. As the same, we have this for the department too. So the 3 attributes. The constructor that will set the 3 attributes with the given arguments, and the 3 getter to get the attributes. Then we have the link, the same structure again, so the SSN, the ID, and the since attributes. We set them thanks to the constructor, and then we have the getter to get them. Now the interesting part is the database handler. So it's the object that will, the class that will serve us to create an object to manage the database. So in order to interact with it and encapsulate all the action we need to do with the database. So first we define the structure of our database. So we just make a basic name to manipulate it. So we have the table name, so the table employee that will take our column. The table department that will take the 3 column, and as the same way the table working that will take this 3 column. So here I add a link SSN and link DIG. I add link before it to not have duplication, since we already have like column SSN here. So okay, and the other part that is really important is to add the database version. And every time we will change the structure of the database, we need to increase the version. And the database name. So here it will be enterprise database, since we have the employee and the department that represent the structure of the enterprise. So okay, next we have the constructor. So the constructor to create a SQLite database will be this. So we need to context, the string for the name, the cursor factory, and the version. So here we'll take the context from the object from the view. The database name that we already set here, the factory that we will give, and the database version that is already set here. Okay, so now on create, when we create a database object, the database handler, sorry. So first we create a table. So to create a database, so we have the table employee that we will be actually it's just a SQL query that we create, and we just execute the query on the database. So basically we just create a table thanks to the query that we created using the enum that we did before. So then on upgrade, so if you want, we will change the version. So we just remove all the things that there is in the database. So in order to avoid conflicts, and after we create a new database. So we recreate it. And then we have the three method add something. So add employee, add department, and add link. So basically, we'll just create a content values, yeah, that will be here to store the value that we want to add in a table to the column. So we define the column name and the value. So since we give to the function in argument the employee, we just extract the data from employee using the getter that we generated before. So we store this in values. Then we create a database object that will be here to simply insert data in the database, and we use the method insert to so we insert in the table employee, and we put the values. And after, obviously, we close the database in order to not use resources that we don't need. So we said to the program that it's okay, we finish with this database object, you can close it and give us the memory back. We don't need to use memory for anything. So the three objects work the same. We give the given object, and we use the value of the object to feed the database. So we insert a new line. Then we have the delete method. So the same delete employee, delete department, delete link. So as the same way, we'll take the object in argument. We create the database object, and this time we execute a SQL request. So yeah, if we want to delete an employee, for example, we first delete the employee where his SSN is equal. Well, the SSN of the given object is equal to the SSN in the column. And after we delete all the link that there is with this person. The same way for the department, we first delete the department from the department table, and after we delete all the links that are done with this department in the workscene table. So we don't have anything that's left from this department that is suppressed in order to keep a clean database. Then we have the delete link. So here is the same, but the same components. But here we will just delete in the tables workscene database. And the query is quite different because here we'll search for SSN and a link DID that are the same. So in order to not if we just look the SSN, maybe there is an employee that have a different link, is linked to a different department, since it's a database many to many. And the same things for the department can have different employee. So if we just look the SSN or the DID, we can suppress links that are that are here in purpose, that are here for other person or other department. So we really could look carefully to suppress the good link by watching the two attributes, the two columns. Okay, so now we the last kind of method that we have is the display one. So here is basically we just display what there is in the database. So we create a database string that will be written in order to display. So we create the database object, of course. We do the query. So here is a simple query. So we just like select everything from the table. So here's the employee table. Then we create a cursor that will be used to pass through the result. So we execute the raw query. So the query, and we get in the cursor the response. We move to the first index of the response, so the first element, and after while after is the last index, we will pass through it. So we'll continue. Here we check if since the communication is our private key, primary key, sorry, we check if it's really like not null, and if it's not null, we add this element into the database string. We don't place. So and we add the field to make it more user friendly. Then we just once we add the line, we just move to the next element, and like this through all the cursor. So when we finish, we of course we close the database, and we're done. We just return the string. So it's the same. It's exactly the same for all the display method. Okay. So now we'll see the file. So the main activity. So here in our main activity, we just have the the three elements. So three attributes that will be used to the three text files to send the input. Then we have the reader group that will be here to select which type of object we want to delete or add. And there is our DB handler, database handler. So on create, we just set all of our objects and create the database handler. Then we have go to query. That is like the method. There is the on-click method that will be used to go to the other activity to see the information, see the data. So we create an intent that we name I. So a new intent, and so this is the activity, and we want to go to the query activity, and so we just start the activity querying activity. Okay, so after we have add element, so this is the on-click method that we will use to add an element. So it's when we click on the add button, and so we just first there is a if that there is a many if that are here to see which button did we click, so which checked radio button we did, so if it's employee, department, or link, and depending on that we create the according object. So if it's a department, an employee, or link, this, and we call the right method for it. So employee, add the department, and add the link, passing in argument the specific object. And after we reset the field, so the user can do a new entry without needing to erase everything all the time. Now we have the delete element. So method that here is kind of the same of add method. It's just that it's when you click the delete button, and here is the same. There is if to see which radio button was eaten. So if it's an employee, department, or link. And so we just create the object with the information that are in the field. Of course, I didn't say it before, but it's quite obvious. And with the object created, we pass it through the right method. So delete employee, delete department, or delete link, and we reset the field. Okay. Now in the query activity, so the place where we see our information, we have we just have the text field that will display text view, sorry, that will display the information and the DB handler. We just define it using the ID and create the DB handler. This is the method that we will use to go to the update activity. It's like the main activity where we will add or delete things in a database. Then we have the display employee, display department, and display link that are all the unclick method for each one of the three buttons. The three buttons that are here. And so if you click on one of them, it will just display, like it will just get the string from the method of the DB handler, so display employee, display department, or display link, and after just set the text of the display, so our text view, to the DB string that we get. So now I will show you a demonstration. So I record a demonstration on my cell phone. And I think it's the right. Okay, that's the second one. Because I did the first one, and after I noticed that I forget to delete an element to show that the bit was working too. So we'll see that later. So here, what we are doing is that we are creating an employee. So with the first field is the SSN, the second one is the name, and the third one is the lot number. So we hit add button. Yeah. Then we will create a second one. So using a different SSN, of course. And I put a different name and a different lot number. So we add. Now we add a department with the ID 3. After it is this is the name of the department, so communication here. And the final one is the budget. So a number type 2. And we add it. Now we add working link. So taking that is the first person that we create. It's the SSN of the first person we create. The date, since when the person start to work in this department, and the department ID that we just created before. So now we'll see the data. So yeah, I will post this. Yeah, you can see that there is the previous people that I created on when I was doing testing, and there is the new person that we just create together. So with the good SSN, the name, and the lot number. So yeah. Here there is the communication department that we create together. And here there is the link that we create together. So this one with the ID of the person and okay, so this is the end of the video. And there is a second one that sorry. No, it's okay. Sorry, I just closed the video. And so this is the video where we delete. So here we will delete this this element. So it's the department test. So we'll delete it. So with the ID 233. So we click department. We put 233. the name of the department, so it was the test, and the budget of the department, and we delete it. And so you can see the department was deleted. Okay, so thanks you for watching, and see you soon. Bye.